Alright, guys. Here we're in the top left side of the map in the semi-finals of Kung Fu Cup Weekly number 3, or Kung Fu Summer Smash, I should say. Vitality Gaming, Solar in the bottom right, Hero playing for Dragon Kaiser Gaming, and Solar's doing the old 4. He was going to do a 16 hatchery, but he sees the probe, scratches building any more drones, runs back, and he goes for a 15 hatchery after Overlord. So this is not a 15-15. Notice he goes back to droning, and he should still go 18 gas, 17 pool afterwards. This is just him trying to make sure he gets the hatchery down without modifying his build order. And if he didn't see a probe coming in, he still would have droned up to 16 before building the hatchery. So really good adjustment for Solar, not letting Hero interrupt his build order and his placement. We were just talking about pull-ups in the chat before I started casting this game, and I think the main thing I wanted to add there is just being hanging off a bar when you, especially if you hunch at a desk all the time, like I tend to do when I play StarCraft and I get too intense and stuff. Hanging off, having a bar to hang off for me is like so necessary for just decompressing my spine and my neck and everything. Probably should just not play as many video games as I do. Probably shouldn't sit at my desk. Probably should set up a standing desk, but short of all that, having a bar to hang off and feeling your bloody, your spine kind of decompress a bit there feels real good. I can't live without it now. If I go a few days without it, if I'm like traveling in a hotel or something, I'll be like looking for like the edge of some steps I can hang off, or like a bar, like in a car park. I'm like, I just need to hang off something, man. I want to feel my bloody, my back and spine kind of just decompress a bit. It feels good. Queen's coming out. Probe's been a bit of a nuisance, but hasn't really gotten any too much damage. Hasn't gotten any too much damage. Well, that was a sentence, wasn't it, Piggy? Stargate's on the way now. So pretty standard opening for Hero. Hero's capable of doing some of the most excellent ZVP openings known to man. He's also known for leaving his wall open and letting Solar's lings in constantly. So the crazy thing I find in this matchup is that Solar often looks like a player who's a bit better in the early stage in terms of controlling things, but Hero seems to consistently surprise him with the next step or catch him off guard, and sometimes it feels like Solar gets forced to go all in, and Hero's very good at defending Solar's all-ins as well. And that's a problem for Solar because he relies a lot on big roach bushes, you know, surprise Ravager Ling attacks, queen walks, those sorts of things to take down Protoss, and they don't work as well versus Hero as they do against other Protoss players. Hero just seems to have his number in that regard. Void Ray's on the way as well. So Void Ray's going to try and hunt down some Overlords. You can get this one before going across the map. Something you can do as a bit of a metagame is rally across the map. Try to kill an Overlord or two over here and then pull back, because you know that Overlord ain't going to escape. Overlords are very slow. Depth shading forward. Shaving forward. Ooh, okay, let's go. Depth shading around right now. Going to try and move. Ooh, Zerglings do interrupt the Adepts. I like the way they kind of split them up for a second, but at the end of the day, 3 Lings, no actual Adept losses. That's fantastic. You also force out a total of 10 Zerglings, which is, of course, a few less drones. And the Void Ray does just go for the safe and easy kill there. Takes out that third one. Adepts should be shading backwards, and I think they can beat these Zerglings, honestly. Solar should get out of there. Because there's 2 more Lings for free. Gotta be careful with those trades. Another pause. Oh, gosh. Looks like they were having a caster lagging Enki while playing this live. Obviously, playing on Korea, sometimes when you've got someone who's casting that from the other side of the world, it does lead to some lag. Usually it's, I would say, to do with the server, but it could be just to do with any of the intermediary internet services connecting them. And you know it's always bouncing around a few countries to get all the way from, say, Latin America or Australia to Korea. For me, if I was going to Korea, it would always be that Hong Kong exchange, or potentially that undersea cable from Perth, Western Australia, over to Hong Kong. If there's any troubles with either of those, bam, my connection to Korea might get a little bit shaky. All right, we've got Adepts floating forward. Oracle's hanging out. Twilight Council's on the way. Guys, that's a very early +1 attack. This is crazy. Dude, that's such a fast +1. Wow, cool build order from Hero. Just his own little twist here. I think he might be doing a +2 timing attack. I don't think that's gonna. I don't think he can really commit to a full-on +1, but a +2 one could work. He's done all this off only 1 gate as well. So notice it was only 1 gate early game, and now he's just gone up to 2nd, 3rd, 4th gates. They've just started to kick in. Funny if this Zergling kills this Cybercore. Unlikely. Gonna go for a follow-up stasis trap. All right. Oh, Solar, careful. Solar's watching though. Queens do outrange a stasis trap's activation, so with the Spore, he can just focus that down, go back to mining. Looks like another couple Zerglings did run in and die. Solar's got to be careful with that. So far, though, so good. He's up 6 workers. He's got a 4th base on the way. Lair, Evo Chamber starting. Roach Warren's ready. Blink and +1 are on the way. Extra gateways coming in. That's going to be 6 gates and a Robo building in the natural. Pushing the front. Dude, Hero just has such a cavalier attitude when he's playing against Solar. He'll just, like, move across the map with his entire army. This is just a crazy move, but all he's doing is clearing creep, scaring him, and then running away. Luckily, though, Solar read this correctly. Notice he's droning. He's not building roaches. He's not panicking. And I'd actually love a Spire from him. Having seen a Void Ray opening into 2 Oracles, I just feel like you can usually squeeze a Spire in versus a Void Ray player if you think you're a little ahead. But so far, just Roach Speed and +1. Blink's not done. That means 2 Stalkers go down, leaving those units in the open. I've talked about this a lot over the last few months because it's one of these habits players have where just try to always warp your units in the mineral line. That way the probes can help fight. It's harder for them to get surrounded. It's a much more effective way of doing that. That being said, the Oracles did kill a lot of Zerglings on the way out, so even though you lose 2 Stalkers, not the worst trades for Hero. He's got 6 gases up now as well, and he's going to go Robo-Bait and a 7th and 8th gate. So 8 gate plus Colossus, +2 starts up nice and early. Blink's on the way. Charge starts up right behind it. The Zergling's going to come home to try and defend. He's only got 7 Roaches. None of them are Ravagers just yet. There are 7 Queens on the map. They definitely could help defend. Their Solar's trying to go 8 gas, Hydra Death, and Infestation Pit's finished. That Void Ray attacking the hatchery. Time to get out of there. There's no way you're killing that hatchery, Hero. Hero? You crazy Hero. Oh my god, there's not enough transfuses. He gets it. What in the heck? Did he only lose 1 Void Ray? He lost a Void Ray and like an Adept. But of course he lets Lings in. But it doesn't even matter because he recalls. He's not even going to lose much. What are you going to lose? Like 3 probes? This is actually totally fine. Oh my god, the balls. The balls. What in the hell? I would never have thought you're going to get away with killing that hatchery. And to be fair, if the Lings were there to defend, probably couldn't have. But because the Lings went for a counterattack, he actually punished Solar really hard, recalled in time to defend it with only minimal damage, and he finds himself in a pretty good spot because Solar's up on 83 workers with nowhere for those workers to mine from. Oracles coming on the south, drones pull away. There's no Spore on that base, which is a little unfortunate. Luckily, the Oracles don't have energy to activate, though. 4th Nexus finally goes down for Hero. Does snipe the Overseer, and he's got a Disruptor out. A 2nd one on the way. And the fact that Solar can just rebuild this base, get into Hive and Lurkers, I think this is good for Solar. Even though losing the 4th sucked and you lose a minute of mining time, it only takes just over a minute to rebuild the hatchery. He rebuilt it pretty quickly. He's got Hydra upgrades coming in now. He's got the Lurker Den finish, +2 range starting. So as the Hive goes down, we should see the Lurker upgrade in a moment. Let's see how quick he is on that. His Hive's just finished very quick. Within a few seconds, he realized that's a good ability to manage many things going on in StarCraft, and that's something pros are really good at remembering when to start those upgrades. Viper's on the way right now. Just a single Viper. I love Vipers against Disruptors, but probably just 1's a good call. 2 is not bad. It's just a bit expensive when you're spending all your gas on Lurkers. Trying to build a Spine Crawler in the base. Usually a Spine Crawler down here is really nice as well, in that little pocket where the Zealots kind of bug out against it. A couple more Archons and Disruptors are coming in. Hero's got a few cannons, a few batteries. No sign of Psystorm just yet, but with the Templar Archives, he can make Storm whenever he chooses to. A few High Templar chilling on the north as well. Roaches and things breaking the rocks down. 5th base goes up in the north. That 5th base could have been up maybe a little earlier, but Solar's spending his money very well, and he is maxed out. Lurkers should be arriving on the front soon. They are chilling at home right now. Disruptor firing at Zerglings. Bit of an odd choice, but Stalkers... Oh! That was cute. Traps quite a few of those Zerglings. Those Lurkers are still chilling at home. Roachling just kind of running around, seeing what he can find hanging out. Spine Crawlers on the bottom. Good choice by Solar. He's going to take the 10 gases. Overlord speed comes in. Still no 2nd Evo chamber, which I do find a little peculiar with how late this is going. It feels like Solar wants to kill Hero before it goes too long. Disruptors are so good against Lurkers. Where is the Viper, guys? That Viper coming in on that right side, but not before the double Disruptor shot goes out. He gets like 2 or 3 Lurkers and hits the Queens with his shot. Another Lurker goes down to the Stalkers. A couple of Queens go down to the Stalker focus fire as well. Great micro to start all of this, but Vipers are nearby. Lurkers just need to keep inching forward. Oh, he blinks. Just look at that. Clicks on a Lurker, blinks back. That's so good. Whenever you move into Hero's micro, it's so scary because he's just so good at focusing things down. I love those changelings, by the way. Really messing up Hero's units. He finally realizes he's going to go for a flank, though. Ooh, Solar wisely trying to pull out, but how many lurkers does he lose on the way backwards? One lurker goes down and a Hydra. Seems like he's going to be able to pull back and burrow in a more central position. Abducts go down. One disruptor lands, but the other one's not able to. One of those lurkers unable to burrow. Oh my gosh, is Solar going to get overwhelmed here? He's still got quite a few lurkers firing from the back. And that was a lot of units going down on Hero's side. Solar may still be down 2,000 resources in the units lost, but he has a 5th base up. And a Zergling might be able to block that base. No, Nexus. Ooh, Hero actually does react. And he's going to throw that 5th base back up. Double Stargate and a Fleet Beacon on the way. I'm not a big fan of Hero's carrier transitions, but I think Solar's really focusing on winning at this stage of the game. No second evo, no +3 weapons. He's just massing Hydras, Lings, Lurkers. He's trying to win before it gets to the Skytop stage. And I think that's a good idea generally. Question is, does he get there in time? Zealots on the south, Lurker Spine easily defends that. I like that Stalker blink to the high ground, but he's going to have to keep running as the Lurkers and the Lings are trying to Sanger him. Catch him in the middle of a juicy Zerg sandwich. Stalkers need to blink out of here to that low ground and try to get out. Zealots over there going to have backed off. Looks like the whole army's getting F2'd to the north. Remember, there's still no Psystorm, no feedbacks available either. That Viper should be nearby. It's arriving. No detection on the south. Those Lurkers doing pretty good damage, man. Those 2 Lurkers doing good damage. They were shooting in the wrong direction for a little bit, but now they get some big hits in the middle of that Archon Immortal. The lack of detection is big. 5th base gets killed in the top, not cancelled. Hero is going to try to counterattack. He's got a Tempest, an Oracle, a Mothership, and 2 Archons building. Solar's choice to try and kill Hero right here, right now. Looks like a good one. The Archon Immortal Zealot trying to get out. I think he's trying to just counterattack with the Zealots and keep his important units alive, but they get caught. Oh no. So many of those units do get caught. Lings running into cannons up there. These fights are not going well for Hero in general. Looks like it's going pretty well for Solar. He ties up the units lost tab. Remember, he was behind 2,000 resources. Now he's ahead of 1,000. That's a 3,000 resource swing in terms of value. Lurker's going to crush this left side. There's only 2 Tempests out. It's going to take a little while for them to deal with this. Revelation on the Oracle looks good. Archons stumble in from behind and get themselves killed. Oh my god, he's just going to attack into that. That's kind of a crazy move. Battery overcharge is good. Is it that good? The Immortals, well, a bunch of Lurkers did die. Tempests are now here. There's not much to back up these Tempests. They got to be very cautious. More Tempests are building. Psystorm, if he gets Psystorm, I think Hero can maybe survive. But making that when you've got this army staring at you is kind of ridiculous. And that's why he's obviously just focusing on Zealots and Tempests, trying to hang on to his 4-base. A 4-base Protoss can do a lot of things. His Observers, luckily there's no Overseer, so even though they were getting kind of attacked into a dangerous spot, they survive. Tempest goes down, Mama's here. Cloak's going to come in, no Overseer, so you got to run from Mama. Mama gonna put fear into the Zerg, and Solar has to back away. If Hero brings this game back, it will be a truly heroic comeback. Mothership does go down. Archon will fall as well to the Lings. Tempests desperately trying to wear down this army. But 4 Tempests are going to take forever to kill this many Hydras, let alone the Lurkers that are on top of the base, the Lings that are in the mineral line. And that is looking like a dead Hero. Solar committing 100% to the aggression, not bothering with second Evo chambers or early Spires. Just going for broke, and he catches Hero off. Hero unable to handle the single Viper in the Mass Lurker. Alright, well, that game did not go Hero's way. I thought he was pretty well set up, but once those Disruptors got taken out in the middle of the map, that push was a bit of an overextension. And then he kind of needed to get up like, yeah, maybe like Storm Tempest or something like that. Just a little bit earlier, right? And he couldn't quite get home, and those Lurkers were impossible to deal with no Disruptors. Not that many Immortals either. Solar once again looking to see if he needs to go for the 14 hatchery. This is a pretty early probe coming in. You can see he started the drone. I think he needs to maybe cancel that to get the hatchery. Oh! Oh, just barely gets it down. So once again, the 15 hatchery goes down for Solar. And Hero not able to block him. Solar happy to make this delay on building his drones in order to get that hatchery down, and that's fair enough. Probe rotating around, being a bit of a nuisance. You can see the new drone coming, but he wants to regen his shields. Going through the mineral line is such a Hero thing. He loves trying to bait his opponent to pull workers off minerals. He's like, come on, come chase me. And Solar's like, oh, just leave, dude. Get out of my base. Why are you so annoying? Nexus goes down at home, and he will go for the Cyber Core after that. Not queuing up the 5 minerals that players normally mine there, but fair enough. Dude, Hero's just a nuisance. Now, Solar played a pretty standard straight to lurker game. I think here on Oceanborn, we probably see a Queen Walk. I wonder what everyone thinks. Like, what do you expect from Solar? That's what I expect, a Queen Walk, or maybe like a Mutalist game is potentially possible. I just don't think on this map he'll go Mutas. I think it'll be some sort of surprise all-in from Solar, or an attempt at that. And those usually have pretty decent success rate when he does them against everyone else. Just don't really see them work. But oh, never mind, guys. Doesn't matter. Because he's not going to get a chance to be the aggressor. Hero. Faking a Stargate build by delaying his Warp Gate. Starts a quick Twilight Council. Starts the Warp Gate after a few seconds. He's going for an Adept into a Stalker. He's going to be doing probably a Glaive Adept. Potentially a Dark Shrine opening. Meanwhile, Probe tracking all 4 Zerglings. Making sure they are staying at home. Queen's being built right now. It is an early creep tumor on the natural, which really helps you get out front to intercept this Adept. Oh, nice snipe. Here he gets rid of the first creep tumor. And he's gone Robo? Ooh. No, that was Twilight first. Sorry, Twilight into Robo is very standard. If it's Robo first, that's very unusual. But in this case, it's like, nah, this is just pretty standard stuff. Not a big deal. He should get back to the pillar just in time to keep this Overlord alive. Yeah, 2 hits from death. Whew. Dark Shrine goes down. Ooh, Hero's going to go for the old Dark Shrine build. Second gate. Do we see a third gate? Looks like he's going to, reinforces his wall with a third gate. Normally you'd go third gas before a pylon, but it looked like he was thinking about building a pylon there. Adept managed to get the creep tumor, but nothing else. That's massively delayed the creep. Otherwise, you'd already have a tumor here. Second one, this one here would be going up there. You could already spread out in front of the third base, but that's been slowed down. And actually, guys, it's a 4th gate as well. What? 4 gate? Well, how low? He chronos his prism here. But he's only now building the pylon, and we should see that 4th gas in a moment as well. I don't think with a 3 gas you can afford to warp in all 4 Dark Templar. But with a 4th gas, he might just barely be able to. We'll see. That prism's pretty early. This is going to be a pretty fast, maybe 435, maybe 440. That prism warping in DTs on the other side. Just decently timed. It's not super optimized by any means. Of course, he leaves his door open. No, it's not that many Zerglings. One could argue this is a trap. Solar gets a full scout, though. That's well worth it. Showing off your DT attack like that is usually not a good idea. Stalker does take out the Overlord on the pillar using that prism for the vision. He's moving out to take a third, and it's interesting. Zergs are so careful against these Twilight openings these days that a lot of Protoss are starting to do this where they actually don't care about hitting a fast timing. Instead, they just take a third and like macro up and just try to be safe. His door's wide open. Oh my gosh. Hero, no. Oh, he's gonna lose one. No, saves all 3 DTs. 3 Adepts and a Stalker standing in the open. Oh, okay. Should probably put something in his wall, but Hero, there we go. Stalker does go to the wall off. Adepts to defend the third with a shield battery out front. A lot of Lings arriving. Those Adepts getting lured into the open could be a problem. Battery gets cancelled. Builds a new one further back. 4 Dark Templar running in, guys. He does not have an Archon morph. He's going to try and click on the Spore. But plenty of Queens ready, as well as a few Zerglings. And this is a really good hold by Solar so far. Lings get a great surround on those Adepts. DT warping in makes it hard, though. And you know what? Units Lost tab tells the story. 22 Zerglings and an Overlord going down. Even though Solar's ahead in workers right now, there's 2 Archons on the front. There's also 2 Adepts. Oh, look at that. He's going to shade Adepts in the third while the Archon drop starts to do its work. These Adepts are going down, though. He needs to stabilize at home. A 3rd Dark Templar is only going to give so much defense. He lures the Queens out of position. The Adepts shade in. And look at that. Overlord does get saved by Transfuse, but the Adepts are going ham. Hero's third base is not done. He's down in workers. He needs more damage. He's already lost a few units, but he's being a very, very chaotic player who's just making things hard for Solar. Those Adepts shade in. They'll die. They get 2 more drones, though. 7 workers in total. This also distracts enough to allow the Prism into the main base, and he can get in there. Ooh, I would have liked him to just drop straight in that mineral line. And he's going to pull... Oh, one more shot. The drones! The drones! You do not stack your drones like that, guys. Oh, no. 16 workers going down. Whenever there's an Archon Prism anywhere near your mineral line, guys, you just run the drones away from the base. You do not go near it. Yes, it was dangerous moving back in with the Archon like that, but dude, he got massive value. Solar punished for being a little bit greedy on going back to mining. That's going to hurt him. And it was kind of necessary damage. Hero kind of needed it because remember, his third base was so much later. But now he's got the extra gates on the way, Blink coming in, no Forge. Looks like he wants to do a very aggressive Immortal Blink follow-up. Yeah, 8-gate Blink, Charge, and no Forge. And he's not even probing right now. I mean, he is supply blocked, so I guess that's why. Archon drop does go home. He's going to move forward now. Archon, Stalker, Immortal moving forwards. He's going to pick up that Immortal and bring it to the front line. He's got a probe on hold position in his wall off. Wow, I don't know if I've ever seen Hero place a unit in his wall before. That's crazy, guys. What's great about this is it's a unit that you can't F2. So this is literally him preparing for the fact that he knows he's going to use F2 to select his main army. Intelligent response to his own weird habits from Hero. Stalkers blink forward. Archon's going for it. This is a crazy decisive push. Does he just have the numbers to do it? He's dodging the Biles really well. The Archons have survived for so long. Finally, the Observer goes down. The Archons are surviving for way too long. The Biles just keep getting dodged at the last second. Another Observer runs in and dies. Looks like the probe did die, but it managed to build a gateway to wall off there. He's going to need to warp in some stuff at home, but is he? No, because Solar's dead. Solar's dead. Let's rewind those last few seconds, guys, and watch that again. I just wanted to see if the wall-off went down, but yeah, these Archons did so much damage. What a decisive push, man. He's got like 5 kills, 18 kills, 15 kills across these 3 Archons. And he just overwhelms. 2 Immortals in the back, more Stalkers warping in on the front. And that's going to be that. Solar just could not hang on after all those drone losses earlier. GG, well played. Hero ties up the series. All right, guys. Vitality Solar in the bottom left side of the map. Hero in the top left, and this time he's like, no, you're not allowed to take your expansion. So Solar's like, okay, that's all right. I'll take my third on this map. Problem on this map is always the Adept shading up here and killing these drones mining on these patches. That's always the frustrating thing. Hatchery goes down. The probe will get the block off. Gas coming in right now, and he's going to rally onto it, of course. Pretty chilled out play. Probe goes into the main base, sees no gas, no pool, so he can assume the third base did go down. When he sees the gas and pool going down here at about a minute 10 to a minute 20, that's when you know, oh yeah, hatch gas pool, standard build. He'll probably, after harassing for a while, go back and check for the third base. But this is also the reason why Hero is vulnerable to proxy hatchery. On some maps, they ran the worker across, built a hatchery here, and he just won't scout for it. He'll just go, no, this is a normal build because it's hatch gas pool, so it must be at the third. And we have seen Heroes surprised by like Dark sometimes, where there's like spine crawlers building outside his base or something like that, but not going to be the case this time, so nothing to worry about. Probe does take a fair bit of damage. New Overlord building for Solar on 20 supply. Cybercore, second gas, and we should see that second pylon as well. He's going to build it on the left side. Definitely looking like a Stargate style once again. Probe's going to do some good harassment, just being annoying, but not nearly as frustrating, I think, for Solar as it maybe was in the other game where it was running through the mineral line and that sort of stuff. Adept is going to be chronoed, of course, on the other side of the map. No Warp Gate just yet, but he didn't do Warp Gate last game, and it was a Twilight build. That being said, he let the Zerglings in to scout his Dark Shrine, which kind of gave up the jig. Hero's Stargate is now on the way. Ooh, Solar. Not quite going to be able to get that probe. He knows the Adept's going to arrive soon, so not worth chasing it. Just pulls the Zerglings back to help defend. Third hatchery starts on the left. He's going to put a Creep Tumor there. Perfect. Spreads both to the front and to the left side. Just need to make sure that doesn't die. It's only got 30 hit points. Oh god, not again. I think it's okay. This is what I was talking about earlier, though. You need an Overlord on the high ground. Pull these drones away. And once that creep spreads up the ramp, makes it a little bit easier. The Lings there ready to trap you if you do commit to that shade. 4 more Lings are on the way. First Oracle gets chrono boosted behind this. The other Adepts are building, but they're not being chronoed. So Hero just focusing on a mixture of economy and Oracles for the future harassment. Adept cancels the shade once again, and many more drones are building. Protoss is ahead on workers right now, but that's standard for this moment. Where Zerg's just trying to establish the defense on their 3 base, and the Adept probing around, poking, looking for damage. Doesn't really find any direct damage. Just forces Solar to be very respectful and very safe in his play. First Oracle's heading in towards the natural, seeing if he can find some drones maybe somewhere between these expansions. I like that he transferred a bunch of workers there, and now he's just probably going to rally these drones back to their own base. Oracle finds the expansion as it finishes. He's going to go in, grabs himself 2 drones, and gets out of there. Not a bad way to do things. Just 2 drones in and out. Adept in the mineral line. The other one did get surrounded pretty quickly. This one fighting these Zerglings one at a time. Probe does die. Oracle goes in, and it looks like, no, it went for a lava, wasn't able to kill it. It turned into an egg. Oh, he gets 2 more! Leaving the Oracle on and dipping back in. The double dip actually pays off. 2 Adepts did go down, and a Probe, but 10 Zerglings did as well. So units lost tab is fine for Hero. I don't think it's too bad for Solar either. I'd say slight lead for Hero so far, but it's still early stages. 3rd Oracle's about to pop. 3rd and 4th cast goes down. We've got a new Oracle entering, gets itself a creep tumor, and a second one, just barely. Nicely done. It's worth it. Slows down the creep. Also removes a bit of this future energy from these queens that they could use for transfuse. Interestingly, the Evo chamber goes down for Solar. Wow, okay. Gonna go for the old +1 melee. Twilight and Forge is on the way. And we should see Hero saturating gases and then rallying to his 3rd base. Nice. You can see probing up. 3rd gateway goes down at the front. Oracles and Adepts here. That's 5 Adepts. And the Oracles. He's going to shade in, turn those Oracle laser beams on to guard them. Can't stand in range of the Queens, though. The Queens will get rid of the Oracles pretty fast. The Lings will get rid of the Adepts pretty fast. Ooh, he manages to snag a drone, but maybe going a bit too deep. Oracle barely survives. You know what? He only lost 2 Adepts. Could have been worse. That could have been much worse. That was a crazy aggressive move and did force Solar to build more Zerglings as well. Slowed him down from saturating his 3rd base. Not too bad. Lings on the right side. Hello. 4th hatchery comes in. Oracle comes in with a stasis on the south. Only gets a single drone. Good reaction by Solar. He's got quite a few Zerglings. Not enough to surround 5 Adepts, though. Oh, he's going to go for it. This is a bit of a wild move. I think this is really good for Hero. 5 Adepts, just too many for this number of Zerglings. If he had maybe 10 more Zerglings, he might have killed a few, but instead he only gets 1 Adept for many, many Zerglings. This also warns him of what you're trying to do. Oracles try to fly in the left. They maybe grabbed 1 drone. I don't see a corpse on the ground, but maybe. Oracle on the right side sees the 4th base and it backs off. Lings poking forwards. Stalkers and Adepts defend. Going up to 8 gates now is Hero, or 7 gates, I should say. So he's going to have a pretty good amount of blink pressure. Oracle lasers. Wow, he takes out quite a few Zerglings. 42 Zerglings, 5 drones going down this game. These Lings, for some reason they were in a corner. I think he was going to go for a Dropper Lord maybe? I'm not sure. Hiding a drop of Zerglings there can be very effective. Run those into a mineral line when your opponent's distracted watching a fight elsewhere, and they could kill quite a lot. Solar's finally getting to 3 base saturation, but Hero's there earlier than he is, and he's already setting up a gateway on the front. Robo comes in behind it as well as a pack of pylons. No supply blocks this time around for Hero as his +2 attack and charge start. Feels like Hero's kind of doing a little bit of everything. I mean, that being said, he's not probing or taking gases, so this is a very committed attack. It's going to be 8 gate with one of those gateways on the very front. These Adepts wedging themselves in a corner, getting some crazy value. Finally, those Adepts will be going down to the Zergling surround. Same time, Stalkers on the right side moving in. Ravagers are starting to morph. There's 5 Ravagers making lots of Roaches on the way. You do not want to stand and fight for too long with these Zerglings. You want to wait for your Ravagers to be here. Queens, Lings, and Ravagers pushing forward. I like that the Lings pull back. Ooh, Ravager on the left got caught. That's unfortunate. Solar's on equal work as he's up 13 army supply. He could swarm this army. If Hero's not careful, he could get overwhelmed. On the other hand, Hero's got stasis traps backing him up. He's got charge coming in. Overlord's catching another Ravager morph at the front. Gotta be careful with where you morph those Ravagers. Files force him off the high ground, but only temporarily. He's going to break those rocks to have a bit more surface area. Be able to spread a wider front of those as they move up. Here we go. Here's that Overlord drop I was talking about. A lovely move from Solar. If that catches him off guard, he could get in and kill a whole bunch of probes. Hero staring at the front right now. Good blink backs. How many Stalkers has he lost, guys? Not many. No Stalkers. He's killed 82 Zerglings and a Ravager and 2 Queens. He hasn't lost a Stalker yet. Oh, Hero playing a close to perfect Stalker attack so far. He's getting good value out of it as well. There's still more Stasis Traps behind it. Zealots coming in. A single Zergling runs into his natural. Not the best move there. There's 8 more Zerglings behind it, though. Let's see what they can do. They will kill a Zealot. Hero with the quick warp in, though, was already notified, so not as much damage as it would have been otherwise. Zealots getting the natural, though. Uh-oh. Those Zealots are going to cause big problems. He pulls his whole army to the left, which means on that right side, the Stalkers dive. He's losing so many workers. As I said, if they're not watching, if he's looking elsewhere, an 8 Zergling drop is such a cheap investment, and it can do so much damage. But he blinks forward, dodges the biots, and says, get out of here, Ravagers. Oracles turn their lasers on as well. 13 probes may have gone down whilst the Zealot run by was defended, but if the Ravagers fall, Solar is dead, and the Ravagers are falling. And Solar may indeed be dead. He's got more Roachling coming out, but losing his core of Ravagers. He knows he can't handle those Stalkers. And Hero, floating 1,800 minerals, not defending the Ling run by from that drop for quite a while, but his micro was exceptional. And if we look at the units lost at the end of this, he's lost 6 Stalkers for hundreds of Zerglings and about 14 Roaches. I mean, that's just very good trading. The units lost tab in the top left tells you guys a story. Once he gets the numbers advantage, his Blink Stalkers are nasty. He also has +2 attack as well. Beautiful play by Hero, wins the semi-final, takes out Solar, and goes through to the finals.